And we're back. Seems like with these Fords, you're always working on something. So a while back, I put the new pulley on. But the way this is set up, it's on an eccentric. So how you tighten this is you tighten the belt. Sorry, is you turn this, and this whole thing goes up. So you kind of see it goes up into here. So what was happening was the fan blades were just barely ticking the neck of the radiator that came out. So the back side of the fan blade came up and was just nicking that, because now it's up far enough that it was causing an issue. So I wanted to kind of show everyone what you can do if you are a dumb schmuck and do not have a lathe or have any machining skills. So this isn't done yet, obviously. But what I needed to do is I needed to get the fan roughly a 1/4 inch ahead of where it was. So the fan mounts on this hub. So I went through the scrap pile out back and found this piece of aluminum, which aluminum's really easy to drill holes and cut and do whatever. And then I measured up the fan and this hub, and it's about 3 3/4. So going through all the hole saws at local hardware stores, I found a kit, Chinese made, useless, don't ever buy it kit of, I don't know, 4 or 5 different hole saws. And so I had everything back together, took the hoods and everything back off because it was ticking. So here I've cut it part way through, but I wanted to leave it on because then I can still grab it with the channel locks to drill the rest of the holes. So I'll cut it the rest of the way through here, but let me show you where the fan goes. So here's the fan, which I don't believe is an original Model T fan. You know, Ford stopped producing the parts for these things a few years back. I don't know, apparently they're letting us go to the aftermarket. So I think what I'm going to do is finish sawing this up. Here's the kit I bought, this cheap Chinese 16-piece hole saw kit. But when I was at the store, I did a little measuring. And inside to inside, I needed 3 3/4. This is just a little bit bigger, and then 3 3/4 inside to inside. So what I'm going to do is run a bolt through here, hook it up to my drill, and then take it up to the sander, and just, as I'm running the drill, obviously I'm going to cut the hole saw the rest of the way through where the circle is here. I might actually start it from this side, since I have the hole already. Just throw it back on the drill press. So yeah, you can do a lot of stuff just with a normal, you know, cheap drill press. I got a center drill in here, and I just had that in there to kind of chamfer all the holes. I know it's not quite, you know, machine quality, but machinist quality, but I think when I get this together, it's going to work pretty good. And do a little more sanding, and I'll show you guys what it. One of the tricks that you can do the old greasy finger on paper routine to try to get the bolt pattern figured out. So all I did was I held this, and I can't do it now because I got the camera in one hand, but I held this with one hand, and then I rubbed my finger down here where all this oil and crap is, and I rubbed it all over that, and then once you know it, you can transfer the holes, so you can see the holes. So I had 4 of the holes set up on this crosshatch. So I bent the paper and did that. Got those lined up with the marks I had on there to try to do try to find the center of the square piece I was starting with. And then did the greasy finger, rubbed it over there, and kind of eyeballed the centers, and got everything to fit on there. So it's kind of a quick and dirty. It's not great. I had to drill the holes a size bigger than, you know, the hole needed to be, because I didn't get them exact. There's ways, if you take a bolt, stick it in here, and grind it to a point, use the same deal with the drill, like put it in the drill and take it to your grinder, grind it to a point, put a bunch of these on here, and then smack it up against there, you'll get a pretty good mark that you can do, you know, find the centers of all the holes and be perfect. But for Model Ts and dumb schmucks, greasy fingers and paper gets the job done. Alright, so I'll show you how a dumb schmuck machines something. First thing I did, I've got the drill press locked down. So the table can't move. I've got the part that goes through lined up with the actual hole. You can see there's no holes drilled in my base here. I already drilled this side about halfway through, so now I'm going to flip it over, assuming this is close enough, because I'm going to sand the outside anyway. This might get a little hairy when I get down, because it's, as you can see, it's kind of going through the edges already. This is the exact size of material that I needed. Just happen to have it in the scrap bin. So let's see what this turns out to be. Assuming it's quite straight or flat or whatever. Plumb, whatever you want to call it. Kind of loose pieces on the end here, so I think this piece here is already off. Let me get a pliers and see if we can back and forth those things until they pop off. None of the best, none of the best. There we go. I'm sure it's hot. So try this. Ooh, this one's not quite through. I need a hammer on that one. Let me see if I can get this adjusted and actually get some clampage on there. There we go. Perfect. Just like working with wood. Just like working with wood. So there's a little bit of I don't know, chowder. I don't know. Focus. There you go. So again, when I put a bolt through here, and then put it in my cordless drill, take it up to my wood sander, belt sander, clean that up. See if I can get you guys set up to see that too. All right, so as we continue to use woodworking tools to do metal work, I thought I could show all of YouTube my sweet dust separator system. This was an Amazon purchase along with this snuffleupagus trunk here, and then this sweet copper wire adapter kit to get to the sander hookup here. But what you do is you take your normal shop vac. I think I had to buy this adapter too. This little whatever size to whatever size. Measure your stuff, you'll figure it out. And then you buy this dust separator top, which has this super cool vortex of power thing going on here. And then you buy a metal can because you don't want it to crush when you get a little vacuum in there. Always important to invest in America. Proudly made in the USA. Anyway, so what it does is this is where it comes out of the sander, or we had it on the bandsaw, table saw, all that fun stuff. And then it sucks it in here. So it's kind of starts to swirl as it comes out of there. It goes around and up to the top. So once you get it on there, you just kick it in, and it keeps the shop vac fairly clean. Most of the dust is going in there. There's obviously some going in there. You clean the filter out once in a while. So I'll get you guys set up here, then I'll start doing my metal work. See if this thing fires up. Quite tight enough here yet. Little turns on there. As usual, I don't have the right equipment, but this is like part of some cheap furniture I took apart, but it was the right size center hole for what I needed to do. So I'm just gonna take the wrong tool again, get it extra tight, put it back in the drill, and do for a shot 2. Okay, so this is string cheese. Did you want to explain to me how you ate the string cheese? Why would you eat string cheese like this? It's called string cheese. It's not called bite a geometric shape into my stick of cheese. I guess that's a good way to make chicken food. How did you eat this?
I just like...
Uh-huh. Loose again. Tighten her up again. Again, if you had the proper tools for some of this work, you wouldn't be screwing around as much as I am. But a channel locks and a crappy metric bolt is always the best way to go. Love to have it off. I'm going to check and see. I have to make sure it fits, especially getting fairly close. If you look down in here, that's kind of where I was worried about it hitting right in there. So we're getting another little bit. Then we get this whole thing shined up all the way around. It should be in pretty good shape. It's on coming loose. I don't know why. I mean, it's the right stuff, so. It is getting closer though, you can kind of see it's getting closer to a fully machine. Some more flat spots off here. Loose again. Getting a little warm too. Yeah, she's a little warm. She's a little warm. One more time, we gotta crank her down. Woo, she's hotter than a $2 pistol right now. Yeah, she's warm. I wouldn't suggest touching it. If you were smart, you'd brought some gloves along. I'll put her in low range here. Let me turn all the noise off. Oh, that's a little better. So now you can kind of see. So it should be, I mean, it's hotter than hot, but that should be my part. Let's see if it fits on the fan here. Put this around the right way. So this what I was really mainly worried about was getting into those little spots there. And oh yeah, she's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut. That'll be perfect. So that's $10 Chinese hole saw, and I don't know, it's about 1,000 degrees up here in the barn, but anyway, that's what you do. I'll get it bolted on and show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's what it looks like. I have used the old German torque of Gutentite. Yeah, see, the fan turns, see, everything's good. So I got it all on. Looks to me like it's on. There is a little bit of a wobble. You look at the clearance. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Hold on. See how it kind of goes up and over? I don't know if it really matters at the 1500 to 2000 RPM this thing's running, but so yeah, I'm gonna throw that back together, and then when this fan comes off and goes through the radiator, that'd be pretty sweet. Just had the radiator redone a few years back, so but got them all in. Seems like everything's, oh yeah, she's way out of, see that center one? Maybe I should loosen it up and try to get it like centered somehow. I don't know. I don't know how important balance is. I mean, bearings and balance shouldn't be a problem. All right, so I've got it kind of half in here. See this rod at the back? That's what actually sets the width of your side hood. So that was a little too short last time. I was playing around with it, but I wanted to show you guys how this belt tightens up here. So if you see this, see how it kind of, might be hard to see. Get it in here decent. So this is, when I turn this, see how that fan blade goes down? So this is, so as I tighten it up, I'm going to use the box end here. You just do a little bit of a, that actually feels pretty decent right there, but so just a tad bit more. But the issue we were having is right up in here. So that right there, I can get a, come on, focus. There we go. I can get a finger in here now, just barely. That was tapping before. So that 1/4 inch spacer right here. Again, this is not an original Model T fan, so I'm not sure how helpful this. All right, so we just got back from the beat run. Looks like everything is holding together. I got a few little drips coming off this. Put a new outlet there, the little brass valve. That's not leaking. The old one was leaking, but I think the radiator clamp is leaking. I gave it a few more turns on it. See, just saw a drip fall down there. I'll give it a few more turns. These aren't great clamps. They're the original style clamps, and I gotta get those cranked down a little more. What were you saying now, bud?
Never mind.
Never mind. All right. So we're gonna get the gonna crank down the clamps a little bit, and we just got water right now in here. So once I'm sure everything's working good, I'll drain it back out with the little brass. It's actually, I think it's a Model A. It just came back from Iola, and they didn't have the Model T version, but the Model A version fits, so put that in there. So it's not original. Everyone can leave a note down in the comments there about how not original this machine is. There's a lot of stuff on here that's not original, so. But anyway, back in business. Other than swapping out some antifreeze come fall, we'll be in good shape. You guys have fun.